Hey everyone, my name is Gabby and I'm back with QC Makeup Academy for another video. So for today, I'm going to be recreating my very first ever special effects makeup look. The photo is a little cringeworthy now looking back on everything that I have learned and things that I'm capable of doing now compared to where I started. So I originally created this special effects look in 2013 and I was very proud of it back then. And although cringeworthy, I'm still proud of it now because of all of the experience that I gained since then. So I first want to talk about what's wrong with this makeup look. Okay, so before we get into how to fix it, make it better, make it more realistic, let's get into what's wrong with it, right? So if you're looking at this photo, I honestly don't know where I was going with this. So that's definitely one of the first things that I now think of as a makeup artist is, what is my actual vision? What's my goal? How can I make it realistic if it needs to be realistic? And I don't know where I was going with this. I think I was just trying to create some type of cut or bruising because there's like a burn mark, there's cuts, but the cuts are really big, but then I wrote that it's supposed to be like a zombie bite or zombie scratch. So there's so many things going on. I need to like hone in on what I think I was trying to create. So I think I was trying to do as if like a zombie had like scratched you or something. So that's what I'm gonna be recreating with that in mind, how I would do it today. The other thing that I'm just looking at is how terrible the edges of my kind of makeshift prosthetic are. So looking at my edge work, looking at just like my use of color here, I kind of have random colors. I have a lot of dark reds. I have some like scab blood or dried blood. I'm seeing some random green tones in there, which I'm not sure why. I have these ginormous lacerations and no dripping blood. So that's the first thing that I thought of when I looked at this photo, and it made me laugh. And I was like, how is there no blood dripping from this when literally my arm is like shredded right now? So we're gonna make sure that we make this very realistic. So I'm gonna zoom in and show you guys what I am using today. And you could always use what I have or what you have at your disposal. There's many different ways of creating special effects looks. You could use scar wax, you could use latex and cotton, or latex and tissue. I'm gonna be using 3rd Degree today just because that's one of my favorite products to mix with. So we're just gonna get right into the video. So to begin, you want to make sure that whatever surface you're working on, whenever you're working with special effects, that it is clean and clear of any makeup, any oils. So I went ahead and removed any lotions, or just wiped down with a like makeup remover wipe, let it dry, just to make sure that the surface is completely clean, because that's what you want when you are going to start using special effects. So I'm going to be using my mixing palette, my spatula, and of course my 3rd Degree compound. So looking at my original image in mind, I'm going to be now creating it in a more realistic way. So when using 3rd Degree, you need to make sure that you do not mix these components. You need to mix them separately and of equal parts, then mix them together. As soon as you mix them together, the silicone is activated, and then you have, you gotta work kind of quickly with this component. So you can kind of see here that it seems like a little bit drippy, so I'm just gonna use that. Kind of fade it back in here. I'm gonna kind of work again, get those edges down. Okay, so now that I have my 3 lacerations down, they're still a little bit tacky, so I'm gonna take my stipple sponge and just kind of stipple on top. It gives me a really nice texture. And you wanna do this before it completely dries down, because then you're not able to get that texture here. Once your 3rd degree dries down, you want to take some of your colorless setting powder. So I'm just going to take a little, I usually just pour it right in the cap if I'm working on myself. On a brush, I usually just dab off on like my hand on top because I don't want too much powder. Just a light dusting. And this helps to take away the shine of the silicone to give a more realistic finish. So now that my wound is powdered and ready to go, I'm going to be using my Skin Illustrator FX palette, which is an alcohol activated paint palette. And I'm going to be using these red tones just to get inside of the cut. Now the inside, the very center of the cut should be the lightest red. And what I really like about these alcohol activated paints is that you can dilute the color so it just looks so realistic. And I also am going to use that diluted red color to create the irritation around the marks instead of going with such a heavy or deep red. So now that I have my alcohol, I have my paints, I'm going to dip my brush into, and I'm going to start off with this blood tone. So now I'm just taking, again, alcohol on my brush, dipping it into my blood tone, and I'm just placing it heavily and diluting it and dabbing it out with my finger to start give that irritation to the skin. You see how natural that irritation looks? It's not just sitting on top, it looks like it's coming from underneath. I'm going to take a smaller brush to be more precise, and I'm going to be using a deeper tone. So here I'm going to be using bruised tone and aged blood. And I really want to stay in those outer regions. Okay, so now that I have colored in with my reds and my burgundies, I do want to deepen up some of these crevices a little bit more. So I'm going to take a very thin brush and I'm going to mix the aged blood and the black. So we have dark blood, which is aged and oxidized. You have sage blood, which is a super bright red, and then you have scab blood. So my favorites to use are the dark blood and the scab blood. The dark blood is nice and thick, and it'll allow me to really get into all of these little nooks and crannies. But I do like the sage blood because it is a little runny, and that gives me my effect of more realistic blood flow. And of course, you have to love scab blood. Scab blood is a holy grail. So I'm going to be using small brushes. You can always use Q-tips to apply this, but I'm going to be using a brush because I need to get into small spaces and I don't want to overpower the look with blood. That's something that a lot of makeup artists will do. They'll put all this work and effort into creating something so beautiful like this, but then they cover it up with blood. So we want to make sure that we're not covering up our masterpiece, that we're just adding onto it. So I'm just going to be using kind of like a brush that I don't really care about too much, or that I know I can easily clean. And I'm going to start off with the dark blood. So with my fresh scab blood, I'm just going to take a little out, pop it on my cup as well. You don't want to directly, if you're using this just for yourself, you can just kind of dig right in there with a Q-tip or something. But if you are not, and if you are using this in your makeup kit on clients, then I would suggest doing what I did, where you scoop out, place it somewhere else so you don't cross-contaminate, okay? And now I'm gonna start working in my scab blood here. And wherever I have kind of those deep wells, that's where I want my scab blood to sit. It's gonna make it look nice and chunky and disgusting. Okay, last but not least, I need some drippy blood here for my wound. So when you're doing drippy blood or spray blood, or more like liquidy blood, you just want to be careful that it is not something that's too bright red. So I'm going to use a combination. I'm going to be using Stage Blood and my Fleet Street drying blood, just because it's a little bit darker, so I like to mix the two and use that for some drippy blood. The other thing about dripping blood is you want to be very conscious of where the blood would actually flow. So for example, if my arm is like this and my wounds are positioned here, there would be some blood flow that goes this way from this corner out. There might be some from the top here, but more realistically, this would drip down this side. So for these, I'm just gonna be using Q-tips. And for the Stage Blood, I'm just gonna use the applicator that it comes with. So I'm just gonna dab and then just kind of move my wrist and let it do its thing. All right, and that's it. That is me recreating my first ever special effects makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to like, subscribe to KC Makeup Academy, and tune in next time. Thanks guys, bye.